All right, we
Not
are
really.
live. Welcome to the workshop. Shut up, Jeremy. Welcome to the workshop 119. I'm Daniel Grinnell, your host. Let's see, what do we got to go over here? It's a comedy safe space, so you can say whatever you want and can't be canceled for it because Scott said so. So if anything happens in that regard, just say Scott said it was safe and you can't be canceled. Because apparently that's how the internet works. Yeah, all things are encouraged: racial, anti-Semitic, misogynistic, feministic.
Encouraged.
I will laugh at all of that stuff.
Encouraged.
So if you're
Wow.
trying to work for the crowd, that'd be me. All right, so we're gonna go in order here of Jeremy, Yoshi, and then John. Say your topics first, because I have no idea what they are, and we'll go from there. So Jeremy, if you want to take it off, just let me know whenever you're ready.
I don't really want to go first, but okay.
It sucks. You're not hosting.
Hold on.
Do it.
I'm getting there. Calm down. Shit.
All right.
My Word document's not loading properly. And I don't remember any of the
Touchdown,
stuff
Chiefs.
that I wrote down.
Touchdown, Chiefs. Sorry, Jeremy. What were you saying? What was that?
I was saying a football joke. All right, my topic. It's good that you don't know what my topic is because I can just make up my own topic.
It's kind of fun.
It's pubis. My topic is pubis.
All right.
Just go with it. My topic today is pubic. So I will
Pubic?
inform you guys about this. Yeah.
All right.
The
go ahead,
pubic bone. Okay. I was already fucking going.
Couldn't tell. Anyways.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeremy. My topic is pubic. So I will tell you guys about this today. The pubic bone, laugh all you want, is actually 3 different bones. There's the inferior pubic bone, the superior pubic ramus bone, and the body pubic bone. Actually, with public education, I can't really read good, and my topic is actually public. So sorry about that, guys. Misread. So there's 8 types of people. There's 8 types of public people in the public society. Number 1 is challengers. These people, they like to take on about 7 people and put them into a steel cage and cause their futures to explode. I'll explain that later. Peacemakers, they're calm and collected. They bring peace, not as in portion or slice, or as in piece of shit, my piece of shit ex-girlfriend. They're calm and collected. These are peacemakers, not pieces of shit. Investigators, exactly as it sounds, guys. I know you guys are smart. They investigate things. A doctor, a detective, that ex-girlfriend that showed me my prostate. They investigate. Helpers help, achievers achieve, reformers reform, individualists have no friends, and loyalists are making lots of money and fighting change. So that's the 8 types of people in society. And I just wrote this joke to make fun of the teacher that died in the Challenger space shuttle explosion, hoping God would strike me down at this very minute so I wouldn't have to continue doing this shit. But here I am, still alive. So public access is a thing, guys. Public access is when there's a glory hole in a public bathroom and it's still open for the public. You guys know what a glory hole is? Public indecency. Public indecency nowadays is going outside without a mask. I mean, I'm also not wearing pants, but you know, you don't have a mask on. Public speaking. People are always saying to picture the audience underwear, and I say, yeah, doing them on stage, naked. It's about your performance as well. I'm naked right now, guys. You want me to show you that window again? This is a joke that I recycled from a previous workshop. or 2 of them. But this is about tow trucks in the public sector because they're working out there. You guys know that convicted felons cannot be tow truck drivers? Funny that they don't want someone with previous experience out stealing cars. That's just weird. You guys, this is a math joke. This is a math joke, so you may want to get you a paper and pen. But on average, there's 60 tow truck drivers who die every year on the highway. So 60 tow truck drivers, that's about 120 feet. 5 tows per feet, that equals about 600 toes lost. That's equivalent to 137 teeth because tow truck drivers have very few teeth. And for my Canadian friends, that's 36.576 meters or 137 teeth. Public opinion, guys. Public opinion. Everyone knows that opinions are like assholes and everyone has one. But when you get 51 of those public assholes together, they create a law that the other 49% of the nice people have to live by. Assholes. And this isn't really a joke. It's more of just a fun fact. There's a town in Peru. It's called Takacanuki, something like that. And they have an annual celebration every year on the same day. It comes together and peeps out their problems. So it's kind of like a public purge. And it was pretty funny because half of the dudes in the town don't know how to fight. And I think they were drunk. But everybody came out to see them. Kids from over the mountain when you fuck that lady. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks, guys. That was 5 minutes.
Nice.
All right. Any feedback, anybody?
Well, you're going through your all the different types of public access, blah, blah, blah. The second you hit public access, my first thought was my ex-wife. You know, because if there was anything with public access, there's my ex-wife.
He said public access, not mass transit.
Oh, my friends and I, we used to, after we broke up, we started calling her. Oh, my friends and I, after we broke up, we started calling her Chevron because, you know, ding ding, the town pump.
Oh,
So.
Thanks, John.
Well, that's good. To make that my own joke, I'm going to say ex-girlfriend instead. And now it's personalized because I've never been married.
yes. That's good. The only thing I would say,
I wrote that just now.
Just overall, I feel like you've got like long setups. I would just shorten your setups to the punches a little bit.
Okay.
That's really it. Like, but
or at least throw some more jabs in there, like while you're doing your setup.
But I like where your head's at, though, dude. Like, I like where you take places, and I like your left turns. And also, I pause more right before you do your punchlines. Like, I'd slow it down just a little bit. I know you're reading it, but like just like pause.
Okay.
So it gets that effect.
Yeah, I put like 5 dots where I'm supposed to pause, but it doesn't really cause me to pause for 5 dots. It's more like 3.5.
What's like the ratio of dot to time you're supposed to pause? Just curious. What's the conversion on that?
I think 3 dots is like a second.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like a typical period lasts 7 days. So, like, if you put 3 dots, you should be here for at least 21 days.
At least another
I would
month.
think so. Like, yeah, just pause.
Some Andy Kaufman stuff, like a whole couple weeks goes by and he just stays on the stage holding stuff.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's very funny.
Oh man.
Public access. There's got to be more to public access too, like the glory holes. All right, it's glory holes.
up here in
What
Canada,
else they
we
with the
have
glory
the
hole?
Minister of Health say that you should start using glory holes and possibly wearing masks while you're having sex and shit. Actual verdict from the Health Ministry of Canada.
I wear a mask already when I have sex, so I didn't need some feminist doctor to tell me to put one on there.
I feel like my association with you, Daniel, already is just gonna get canceled. Just me being
Hey, I try to be friends with as many black comics as possible, so that way when they come for me, like I have some defenders.
I know a black guy right here. This black guy.
Yeah, talk to Yoshi. Shit, I wish his name wasn't Yoshi.
Cultural appropriation right there.
Oh yeah, I've already gotten canceled by my Asian friends. I'm used to
Yeah, what's his number? He might be
This
it.
might need some consulting.
looking for a white friend now.
Yeah.
phone a black friend.
Yeah.
That's the scam.
He's like, I'm so tired of that guy who looks like a Vander Holyfield and George Foreman had a baby, and he just fucking fired your ass right there.
This is funny. Vander Holyfield lives in Atlanta,
Okay.
and he's at the mall one time,
Mhm.
and he walks by me, and he takes a second look as he walks by me.
He's like, wait, how old are you?
Yeah.
Did I pump your mom full of this back in the day?
Yes.
My mom my brother had one of those DNA tests, and the results came back, and then like somebody contacted him, and they're like, "Hey, we think that you're related to this dude's father," and we kind of think that my uncle now has a sixth kid that we just found out about. But the problem is the other two kids that he has that are around my age, they don't really know that he's the father either. So like he was getting busy for 1 or 3 months around the time when my mom was getting busy. I hope that not in the same house. Weird. Okay, never mind. That's gross.
Plot twist: Jeremy is the uncle in the story.
Yeah. But I seen a picture of this dude.
Schizophrenic whose other personality fucks his mother. Like that's.
And he's also my uncle.
Yeah. Jeremy's other
Show me on
personality
this-
is his uncle that fucks his mother.
Show me on this
All right.
mic stand where comedy touched you.
And they just shove the whole mic stand up your ass, and then we just speak into your mouth. All right, Yoshi, go ahead and say your topic, and go ahead whenever you're ready.
Yeah, my topic is pie. Pie. All right, my oldest son just memorized the first digits of pi, but he can't remember how to wipe his own poodle piss after doing number 1. He's missing a piece of something. Some people call it like being on a spectrum. I don't consider that a spectrum, as I call it just a rainbow of a mess. He's an idiot. Probably my fault, though. The only reason he looks up to me is because he doesn't have a choice. I'm tall, and he's not old enough to work in a factory yet. Like, he already knows the iPhone. Like, it's time to learn how to build it. Like, I gave him an iPhone, and he's like, Daddy, I owe you. I was like, hey, son, no, it's a iOS. Learn it how to use it, and then pay me back later, okay? The sad thing is that, like, his number 2 game isn't very good either. Like, I don't actually check his number 2 or anything like that because he's way too old. But I just know that I have an Amazon Prime monthly to basically replenish his draws. Like, my kid's good at drawing, but he shits on himself. I'm sure he's now drawn a picture of a new dad because he's an idiot. I am a dad.
He's an idiot.
Stop heckling.
I am a dad, and I came to find out that it's not as easy as apple pie. It's more like a calculus pie. It's more like Pythagorean theorem pie. Like, my youngest one is definitely a squared. My second is b squared, and my third one is just a dick. Like a lovable, huggable type of dick. Like a sweet kind of dick. Like a sweet dick. That's what my son is. He's a sweet dick. I've been trying like my best to be like a better dad, but I've had to eat some humble pie lately. My daughter called me for lying to her about tigers and bear, and I was like, honey, oh my, bad. So can't fuck with you on that. I've been trying to eat a little healthier recently. I tried to get off of sugar, but it was difficult because that's what I call my wife, and she's hot, so it's hard to get off of that. My wife calls me cute pet names like Cutie Pie, which is adorable since she pays the bills. I also call her pet names like Honey Bunches and Sweet Pea. She's like, don't you dare. You better put a ma'am in front of that. You don't pay the bills around this house. So it's ma'am, my wife. That's what I call her. I've been a little lonely lately. So I started sprinkling myself with compliments. I don't know if you guys do that. So this morning I told myself, hey, you look good enough to eat. And then I got super depressed because I thought myself as a meal. But if I was a meal, I'd be like just full of Chick-fil-A and regrets. Like the aliens would cut me open. And the obvious question would be like, dude, why is this guy like fat from like the titties down? Like from the titties up, I look good. But like titties down, I should try harder. And from the dickly down, I look like an ostrich who just said, fuck it. All right. Recently, my mind's been playing tricks on me. It's been telling me that the social construct of our government agencies are being programmed into our cerebral cortex to manipulate our day-to-day activities. Oh, snap. My bad. I just got lost on a subreddit where Caitlyn Jenner was going to transition back to being a man, which is something we haven't figured out how to do yet. I don't know what we want to call that surgery. I think maybe a reverse layup. That's what I'm thinking. It's a reverse layup. All right. There's my closer. I'm into music, so like I love this DJ Aoki, and he does this thing at his concerts where he throws cake on the audience after he has like an amazing set. He just throws a big ass piece of cake on the audience. I went to one of his concerts and like he threw cake at me and I was like, man, fuck this. So I threw him back like a piece of talent because I'm an Avicii guy all day. Fuck that guy. DJ Aoki. Sometimes I get a good feeling. Fuck you, Aoki. All right, that's my time. All right, that's it. That was my time, guys.
All right.
I don't know
we
how
just
long that was.
don't have any feedback for you guys. For you,
I don't know how to do this, but the part where you said like we don't really know how to transition back yet, like before you do the reverse layup.
Yeah.
I don't know why my mind went right to like obviously they're not very forward thinkers because me personally, I'd want to make sure the reverse procedure is perfected in case I made a mistake once it's done. I don't know. There's something there.
What? I have to sit down all the time when I pee? Fuck, I didn't think on that shit.
Wait, you don't do that? Also when you keep talking, when you say like your kid just pisses on the floor, I'd be like, I mean, it's not really his fault. It's just his dick's huge and he doesn't have the arm strength to lift it up yet. I don't know why my brain went there.
Just baby arms.
Yeah. Apparently, baby arms can't lift up other baby arms.
That's funny because I do have this joke about him pissing in the water, sitting down and peeing, and him making bubbles because his dick was too big.
Oh, there you go. You can connect your jokes that way. Then there's something there.
That's
okay.
Funny. I like that. I like the visual of that. Like this is too bad.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry. Oh God. He just pisses right on the floor.
You're like you're standing there and he's just looking at you like, Dad, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, like your wife goes to help. You're like, no, boys got to learn.
It's tough love in our house. He like spank him, rub his nose in it a little bit, and then
He's training like a Rocky film, and you're on the bike behind him, and just so he can lift his dick up to take a piss.
See, I went off on a bit of a nerdy because you're talking about pie and you're talking about your kid and shit like that. I went off on a bit of a nerdy tangent all about pie.
Yeah.
Talking about the fact that your kid makes you go on a tangent, and that when he's taking a piss, you definitely want to stay out of his radius. And you're just looking for that one day when you can actually just give him a cosine and.
Yeah, so if you're ever doing a college at like MIT, this is
like I said, it was a nerdy.
No, but that's funny. I would say that. Like that's those are my kind of jokes.
No, it works.
Like entering different stuff in there. I mean, I just did a Pythagorean theorem joke, and I didn't have to look it up. Like I literally know what the fuck it is.
Yeah. When you did like a squared, b squared, I feel like instead of calling him a dick, this is probably not right, but you should be like, he's like a cunt squared, so that way the C would still be there.
Or cock squared.
Yeah. He's a little cock squared or something.
Cock. He's
so that way the
squared.
still there.
Yeah, I do like cock squared, and it's strong. Strong letter.
I can just imagine like taking like a cock squared and putting it on a wood lathe and making like a table leg out of it or something. And you guys don't watch woodworking videos. I'm sorry.
I just thought it was because you're in Vietnam and have a lot of dick legs you be touching over there and shit.
Love you a long time.
Jeremy, that drink's been empty for a bit. Like you keep.
It's coffee.
Oh, never mind. I can only see half of it. Fucking retard. Any other feedback from anybody?
Good job.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I wrote down some. I don't remember where it went, but I wrote down no dipping sauce. I think you were talking about chicken wings or something. And you said Chick-fil-A. I'm full of Chick-fil-A, but no dipping sauce. Like, it's kind of shitty because chicken wings are awesome with dipping sauce, and chicken wings are awesome without dipping sauce, but not so much.
Yeah, no, I do like the thought of like the aliens eating me, but with no dipping sauce. You know what I mean? So, which is just stupid, but I can just imagine an alien cut me open and be like, fuck.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to dip this in some sauce because this.
Hey, Bork, you got the dipping sauce?
Yeah.
You always forget the dipping sauce, Bork.
Bork.
I don't
And then
I don't know what their names are gonna be.
This
Probably
is
like AB 1942 or something. I'm not sure.
I also wrote down cream pie. That was, you could. This one kid. I'm not saying you can have this because it's somebody else's joke, but he's like, whenever people have like a baby shower, that's just like a remembrance of a time they were cream pied. Like 9 months ago, you were cream pied. Like now you're going to rub it in your whole family's face that you had your boyfriend come inside you, and we're supposed to celebrate it because now you're having a baby. You're fucking troll.
Jesus.
We pull out game.
But cream
What was
pie
the comic's
would have been a
name
good
since
pie.
you just told his joke? What was the comic's name?
He's just started less than a year. His name's Jack.
Jack.
He's in
So
this
that's
group.
Jack's
I
joke.
think.
Would you say Jack is what?
Yeah. Jack, I think he's in this group, not like in this group of us, the 4 people, but he's in the workshop group.
You're talking about a Jack and a cream pie all in the same breath. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on.
Got a lot of
Jeremy's,
wood.
he tried to like convince us he was naked when we can clearly see his shirt. So
This is one of those belly
firing on all
shirts.
cylinders
It's
over
cut
there.
off
Oh, he got the
Cut
AC
off at
Slater
the belly.
special.
Now, this is my teaching shirt. See, it's got a collar on it and stuff. So whenever I'm teaching, I can still look professional with my chest hair hanging out and shit.
Are
Yeah.
you back to teaching, Jeremy?
I want you to know that this says Versace or Versace on it. All right, you motherfucker. This is a
Yeah, they
knockoff
make them there. I
Versace
mean,
shirt. It cost me $7, and it's fucking gotten me probably. That's a fucking mosquito. It's probably gotten me laid -1 times.
Right. Yeah. So you're trying to bang
Like
a
it has a
chick,
smell
and then you
to
got
it.
raped.
Yeah, it's
I
called.
don't think that's the shirt.
Because children made it. That's their blood, sweat, and tears that they put in there.
Yeah.
So literally, their blood, their sweat, and tears is what that.
You
shirt
can
is
smell it.
about.
Yeah, it's inside the shirt. Yeah.
Child labor brought to you by Versace, and it's just like this beautiful woman in a dress and kids like dying in factories behind
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, this is our fall line of dying kids.
A lot of sacrifices were made to bring you this polka dot shirt.
To help
Daniel,
get laid at one time.
Daniel, do you have kids?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, because I was gonna say if you don't have kids and you're making fun of kids, you're definitely going to hell. I know Yoshi's got some kids, so it's all right for him to make fun of his kids.
I am going to hell
If
for
you don't have
many
kids-
other reasons than this.
Yes, I know.
The tip of the eye. Like,
You forgot we met before. My name's Jeremy.
Yeah.
We met.
hey, Jeremy.
Forgot football's on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Chiefs are spanking the Texans right now. It's 24-7, and I think the third quarter is about to wrap up. Anybody that's interested?
Where do you live, Daniel?
I'm just north of Detroit.
Got it.
Where are you from, Yoshi? I don't think you were in here when we asked that earlier.
Oh, Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
How's the scene down there, actually?
Atlanta.
Fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
Me and Bilal, he does hosts on Wednesdays. We've been talking about doing a trip down there.
Yeah, dude.
Do some shows.
It's tight. It's
That's
a
cool.
pretty solid scene.
So I'm the only Canadian, eh?
Yeah.
I think there's other Canadians. I don't think you're the only Canadian, but it's kind of. John hasn't left his house in 20 years. The only one left. The Russians surrender. All right, John, you're up. Let us know your topic, and I'll start your time whenever you're ready.
Alrighty. My topic is shapes.
Shakes.
Shapes.
Shapes or shakes?
Shapes. SHAPES.
Okay.
Shapes. Oh shit! I already
Is it-
had a joke for shakes.
Shapes.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Michael J. Fox.
That's it. That's a joke.
You were great bartender. Greatest bartender ever.
Yeah. You should have been casted in Cocktail, not Tom Cruise. All right, go ahead whenever you're ready, John.
Alrighty. All right, my topic is on shapes, and here I am looking at y'all through my rectangular monitor as I'm being recorded on a circular lens that's kind of cradled in a oval casing as I'm speaking to you in my rectangular box that happens to be one of 4 rectangles that happens to be put into one giant square. Now I've got an upstairs neighbor. He's got 6 rectangles, which means that same size square, 6 rectangles, he pays more. I find it amazing that humans have so much fascination with shapes. Like when I was trying to think of how this was going to form, I was trying to shape it in my head. And then I was thinking, that makes no sense. Like, what type of shape is my imagination? Like, that's just as stupid as like saying, what does purple smell like? Type of thing. But who cares? Stupid joke. Yeah, like this day is shaping into a good one. Like, as opposed to what? Like, obtuse? Like, did it elongate and become a trapezoid? I don't understand some of these expressions that we actually have as it pertains to shape. Like, I'm in good shape. Like, are you fit? What constitutes good shape? Describe to me what shape you happen to be. I've seen round shapes. I've seen pear shapes. Hell, I'm tall and skinny. I'm a parallelogram. But, like, are triangles good and octagons bad? I don't know. Like, I find that shape is a simple one-syllable word that acts like as a trigger to the brains of simple-minded people to convey an idea which really means nothing, but dumb people will say that they understand what it means. Like the news will tell you during wartime that the ground conditions are shaping up to be in our favor. They like to use that because it's a watered down word, because it sounds nicer than saying we're able to rape the culture of its resources by killing a bunch of mothers, fathers, and children. Because take a look at this map. Our circle is bigger than their circle. Like, doesn't that make you feel good? Of course it does. Like our shape drawn on an arbitrary country borders. Yeah. I literally wrote this in like but like people love their shape analogies because it like gives them an excuse not to think. And the pyramid or the triangle, that always seems to be like the bad guy. Like we have pyramid schemes, we have the food pyramid, we have the Luxor in Las Vegas, like all evil. And like talk about evil in pyramids, we have like trickle down economics. Like the shape of our economy is always shown to be a smooth pyramid. Have you ever tried to run up a smooth pyramid? Not too good. Like the wealthy are obviously on top, and they're at the peak, standing on the top of those that support them. The middle class are the structural building blocks, and the poor make up the base. Like, what type of mobility are you going to be going up that triangle there? Like, do you know what the true shape of our economy is? I've discovered that the true shape of our economy is like this giant gold-plated dildo that's like designed to like fuck the poor and the working class out of their retirement hopes and dreams. Is there to like limit their mobility, because the pyramid, it stays stable for those at the top so they can like remain with their the Sun King delusions. But do you know what comes out of that giant gold-plated dildo? That'd be the shape of water. Like another stupid thing, which coincidentally has no shape. Or you can just think of it as one giant pretentious splooge. And that's really all I had, because I only had an hour to do it. So.
All right, anybody got some feedback?
You should have stuck with Shakes and Michael J. Fox.
It is always shaken and not stirred.
I'm just kidding. Good job, John.
I didn't see that coming. I really do like what's the shape of your imagination. I like where that was going. When you said a stupid joke, when you're like, oh, that was a stupid joke, honestly, you could have just been like, yeah, that one's out of shape. I feel like you literally got every reference there except that one. I love like your round shapes, round shapes. I was thinking white shapes, black shapes, dark shapes, dead shapes, like all kinds of like just kind of like a reference to something else as you say the colors of the shapes, or like just sing like a song of it, something like that. That's where my head was at around those round shapes. And I like the premise of our circle is bigger than your circle. Our 401k is bigger than your 401k. Or like our retirement fund is bigger than your retirement fund. Our privilege is bigger than your privilege. That's what I thought of. And then I love the reference to the shape of our economy being a gold-plated dildo. You don't even need to put the gold-plated there. Just the dildo shape. You know what I mean? And then I'd love to see you start describing it. Like, you said it was like a pyramid, but all I can think of was still on the dildo. And all I can think of is, yeah, just the tip. That's the tip. That's the part that gets in there. Or like, that's the part that like gets the most action, is just the tip of the gold-plated economy dildo.
Gold-plated, girthy, vein-ridden.
Yeah, like the more you described it, the better. But like you went from like one to another like visual thing. And I feel like you could have just stuck with one and just go in on the dildo, but you move to like this pyramid, stays stable like at the top. But I like the dildo. Like, I don't know why, and I keep liking saying the word dildo.
He loves dildos, everybody.
So it's so visual. Everything that you kept saying, I would have just stuck with the dildo.
Yeah, no, like the dildo part had a lot of legs. Like, I thought you were gonna reference more about like how you're fucked if you can only get like the tip in, or Even if
Yeah.
you just went and like it's shaped in it's like in the shape of like a cock but not like any cock, like a cock that's been just beaten and resurrected over and over again. It's like an old porn star cock is the shape of our economy.
Yeah.
It's like a Ron Jeremy
Hopefully-
cock. It's
Hopefully
on
by
trial
the
right
end of your
now.
life you can
Yeah.
get past the
Yeah.
tip and get the whole dildo in your in your mouth or whatever, like that's the goal, is to be able to get as much of that dildo into you as you can in the economy.
and that's when you die, like when you reach the base.
Yeah.
The
And then you realize there's another dildo you got to figure out when you finally get that one done.
It's a whole bag of dildos.
I thought of a stupid one when you were just like, this day is shaping into a big one. I just thought it'd be like if you were a dumb guy, like somebody came up to you and just like, hey man, this day's shaping into be a big one. And you're just like, nah, I think it's probably gonna be the same amount of time as it always is. Like, I don't know why my brain went there, but
Does this day have 25 hours? What the fuck's
yeah.
happening?
Like, how does a day shape into being bigger than the other days or longer than the other days? Like, oh man, they're the same amount of time every day. It's the exact same, actually.
It's just another dildo with a different color.
Just another big old dildo day.
Yeah, another dildo, another day.
Somehow keep on getting the shaft. Don't know what the fuck's happening.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like when you said you had an upstairs neighbor and they pay more for their apartment. Tell us more about your parents next time when you're talking about your upstairs neighbor, because we know you still live in your parents' basement. Do they have? They have basements up there. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Then also,
My son's basement. He's doing better than I am.
There you go. That's good.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's funny.
The back to the dildo again too. It's just like
Back to the dildo.
there's so many lanes you could take that comparison when you say the economy shaped like a dildo. It's just like
Things.
yeah,
We barely touched the foreskin on that one.
yeah, and it's just like, all right, the economy, it's shaped, our economy shaped like a dildo. That's the shape of our economy because it's gonna fuck you. And your goal really in life is to take control of that dildo and fuck somebody else with it. I don't know.
Yeah, peel back the layers on
Something there.
that onion dildo. Onion dildo.
Onion dildos. Oh.
Girl, you stink. Yeah, I got the new onion dildo. It's good for marinating shit. Like,
Yeah, I like a little onion with my salmon. All right. Any other feedback on that?
No, solid.
All right. Alrighty, good job, John. On to me, I guess. I wrote nothing. I'm just gonna try to fucking freebase this topic because I figure it's big enough to do that. All right, I'll start now. All right, so my topic was high schools. And high schools are crazy. Like, we all can relate to high schools. Rather it be similar experiences or shitty teachers or sports. I mean, I miss sports more than anything when it comes in my life. Like, I don't know if anybody ever in the crowd's played football or anything like that, but there's nothing better and more camaraderie than playing football. And it's not so much the on the field stuff, it's the locker room stuff that gets you really close and feels like you just have like 50 brothers. And I don't mean like 50 brothers. I mean like 50 brothers, like family members. I mean, at my school, there was like 45 brothers on the team, but I was one of the few. And no, you get really close to somebody. For example, in our field house, there was no stalls, and to save space and get more toilets in there, they put the toilets extremely close together. So on a regular basis, you have to take a shit and you're touching knees with 2 or 3 other people at the same time. And I don't think there's a more closer experience 2 men could have with each other than taking a shit with 9 other guys and all of your knees are touching. It's like a We Are the World handhold, except like we are all shitting together as one. It's one unit. I think it's team building at the same time. High schools are also filthy. I got a blowjob in most areas of my high school, and girls weren't really ready to swallow at that point in my life. So it's fair to say it's been 10 years, but there's probably still some of my cum somewhere in that building or dugout or field house or the stadium or the bushes behind the tennis court or the tennis court. Yeah. Proms were pretty fun too. Yeah, fuck proms. Let's see what else we got about high schools here. High school movies suck for the most part. I mean, there's probably like 4 or 5 decent ones, but like every high school movie, everybody in it's like 23 years old playing 16-year-olds, which you'd think they would have changed it up at this point because I'm pretty sure everybody noticed that. Like from now on, like the cast of 90210 was like 55 by the time that series ended, and nobody was attractive anymore. They still had the same issues. Like, man, Mr. McAllister's a bummer, man, and it's just like, dude, why are you still in Chem 101? Like, what the fuck? Move on, like, or drop out. I mean, be a man at this point. Just drop out, get a job at a factory or a used car lot. And, you know, knock up the meth head or future meth head probably. Also in high school, the hot chick always gets fat. Like, I don't think anybody talks about how ugly the hot chick from their school is now, which you should always be nice to the lesser attractive, bigger girls like I was in high school for the most part. One, because they'll do more, but also they get hot eventually. Like, they get really hot. And they'll remember you were nice to them when they were disgusting. Let's see. Where are we at? 4 minutes. What else can we talk about high schools? It was actually, if you really think about it, high school is probably the easiest thing you'll ever do in your life. Like, if you could go back right now with your mental capacity, not even new stuff you learned, but just realizing now how easy high school is, would it really be that hard to get a 4.0? Like, I think we should change, like, the standards of high school to, like, raise the achievement value because it's really not that difficult to get good grades in high school. You just got to stay off of drugs, don't show up drunk, be on time, do your homework, and you're going to get an A in most classes. And these kids get to go to college for free if they just do those things. And then they get to go to college and partake in doing drugs and drinking alcohol, exchanging STDs like phone numbers. I used to go to colleges, and I didn't actually ever attend a big university, but I would be there frequently. And I would usually just like try to have sex with all the law students on the off chance one of them gets knocked up and becomes a really like famous lawyer, and I would just be taken care of for the rest of my life. It never worked. Well, I mean, it might have. They just didn't know who I was until maybe they see this workshop. But I never did a follow-up, and I always use a different name. All right, that's my time. Thanks for listening.
I got it
canceled like 9 times in there somewhere. Like, that's definitely coming back to bite me in the ass in a few years.
I don't know why, but I laughed when you said that your team had 45 brothers, and because you're like one of the only 5 white guys there. And the first thing that I thought of was, so you guys did really well against the all-white private school.
No, we actually have, like, because I went to Port Huron High, and it was more like 50-50. Like, I went to a pretty nice like interracial school, which was nice, but Port Huron Northern was all white, and they got smashed by us every year.
I like with that joke that I laughed at that too. I've seen it done, but I feel like anyone can do it. But when you said it, it made sense. Like, you could always just say ER and not the or A and not the ER, and just like put that out there. But it was just, I'm like, it's a funny premise though.
I like the fact you're talking about getting the blowjobs all around school, and obviously the girls spat, either that or else you had to bang it off in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 10 years later, and if you turned on the lights, it would look like some sort of really weird art project, speckled everywhere, big Pollock everywhere.
Yeah, and you were mentioning all the places, like the rooms that you had gotten blowjobs. I was waiting to hear the janitor's closet. You know, because my uncle's a janitor. Yeah, well, your uncle's a
janitor.
The nurse's office.
Did we even have a nurse? I don't think we actually. Oh no, because we had a medical facility that was on campus called the Teen Health Center. We didn't actually have a school nurse.
How many people were in your high school? Jesus Christ.
No, it's not that many. It was a really small building, and it was just like behind the school. So like whenever you needed sports physicals or STD tests, you would just walk over there and walk in, and you'd get all that stuff taken care of. It was pretty cool.
The same place.
High school.
Your high school had goals. Not to get people pregnant.
Yeah. I had a friend who got pregnant, though, junior year, and then she got pregnant again senior year. So both years she was pregnant at junior and senior prom. Great girl. Great gal.
Awesome.
She just had this affinity against slow dancing.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I love getting fucked. And then like a few months later, it's like, apparently, like she's got a big old belly. Oh.
She put out. She had as a trophy.
Wow, that's funny.
All right, any other feedback?
I also had the thing of you were talking about the high school movies, and I wrote down they led me to believe that I'd be going to parties all the time, drinking really good alcohol, driving fast cars instead of just hanging out with a bunch of other loser guys, smoking really shitty weed on the playground of an elementary school. Like at 7:30 on a Friday night.
At high school, was that yesterday, John?
I don't get elementary schools anymore. And weed's legal.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, weed's legal in Canada, so don't have the shitty weed anymore.
Oh,
but do your upstairs roommates allow you to smoke weed in the downstairs basement of your parents' house?
Before everybody else did, I'm grandfather then.
Yeah, you're definitely grandfather.
I also wrote down that high school diploma is nothing but a participation award.
That's
all you have to do is show up and be conscious.
And my friend, you were talking about the getting an ugly girl in high school. My friend said that at the nightclub. He said you go ugly early. So you talk to the ugly fat girl at the beginning of the night, and if there's nobody that takes you throughout the night, you can always go back to her. But I think that's what your wife was thinking, and now maybe both of you are like thinking, was I the ugly one? Fuck, or is she the fucking ugly one? And now you guys are just ugly.
I don't think I was the ugly one when we first got together, but I think I've become the ugly one as it's gone on.
That's good for you. You made the right choice.
Yeah, it's like a long-term catfish, I think. Like, I'm not going to keep this body up. Like, I'm with Yoshi. I am attractive from the nips up and from the dick down. Like, it's a mess everywhere else.
Yes. We met on Zoom, and when we first met in person, we fucked. So there wasn't no need. Oh shit, he's fat as hell.
Yeah, like it's bad when like she's blowing me and I just set like my gut on top of her head. It's like bumpers at a bowling alley at that point.
Oh god.
Must be fine for the winter though, because she can at least have like little earmuffs.
Well, it's not that big, John. Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. Right.
You gotta pick it up.
Way to go.
Yeah. I don't care on a wheelbarrow. Oh. All right. Any more feedback?
No, that's it. That was
Everybody good? All
I
right.
think it's a good
Jeremy.
job. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. All right, go ahead with whatever you want to do and start when you're ready.
All right.
Oh, score update:
So-
31-7 with 8 to go in the fourth quarter. Kansas City. Sorry.
Remember to deduct that from my time. All right.
All right, and
Deduct.
whenever you're ready. I'll deduct it
All
from your
right.
time. No problem. I'll take 15 seconds off.
Here, you're still talking during my time, so you better take off 20 now. All right. So I wanted to start out by saying the word Titicaca because I think that's funny, and it's a lake. My friend asked me the other day. He said, "Hey man, if you can bring back somebody from the dead, who would you bring back?" And it got me thinking. And my first thought, I'd bring back Snoop Dogg, man. It'd be awesome to smoke weed with Snoop, but he's not dead. So like my second thought, how do I kill Snoop Dogg? 'Cause, like, I really want to smoke weed with Snoop Dogg. But again, my apartments have a no pet policy, so bad idea. Like, my second thought was like, I'll bring back maybe Bob Marley, because we need a revolution in America right now. Everybody really needs that black friend, and it would be cool to smoke weed with Bob Marley. But it got me questioning, like, what do I got to take care of Bob Marley? Like, what does he eat? Maybe toast and jamming. And then again, like, where's Bob Marley gonna stay at? Like, is he gonna be cool sleeping in my parents' concrete basement? Concrete basement? That's a song reference. So probably a bad idea to bring back Bob Marley because I can't really afford to bring back Bob Marley. I can't even afford my weed habit. So I'll probably bring back, like someone who always took care of me was my grandma. She used to make me food. She used to sew clothes for me whenever I was a little kid, and it always had a tag in it that said Versace. I mean, no, the tag said made especially for you from grandma. So like, I always thought she would take care of me. So I'd bring back my grandma, and I tell my friend that, and he called me a pussy. He called me all of these names. He said I wasted my wish. I could have brought back a porn star, and we could have all fucked her. And so I was like, who are you going to bring back, dude? He said, he's going to bring back Jesus. And that's like a pretty dumb idea for one. Jesus would come back on his own. But, he said Jesus would provide his own food. He also provides you with wine instead of water. But, he'd be very popular, and Jesus would probably... There'd be so many Jesuses in the world at that time that we'd have to nail 3 Jesuses to a cross. So that's pretty dumb. And then I was like, as COVID started, guys, I overheard my coworker say to the other coworker, he said, "Man, I'm getting worried about this COVID. If the boss don't let us go home, I'm going to burn the fucking building down." And the other coworker looked over at him and he said, "Meow." And that was the first time I realized that my coworkers are cats. This is one guy, Frank. This one cat, Frank. He works at my job. He's got a shitty data entry position. He's a little bit dumb. Like he's not all there in the head. Apparently, he was in the war in Afghanistan in 2001. Big explosion. So he gets money from the government, and he doesn't need this data entry job. But Frank's been sneaking out of the house, and he's hooked up with some Vietnamese cat that lives in the neighborhood, and she's already got 2 kids, and Frank's dumb, and we've never had the sex talk with him. So now he believes these 2 kittens are his. So he's got this data entry job, and he got this to save money to send the kittens to go to school. And I'm like, Frank, you're a dumbass. But, like, he feels so good. Like, he'll come and rub his butt up against me and, like, scratch his neck because he likes to be scratched under his chin whenever he does this, because he's so proud of himself. And the other coworker that I work with, his name's Chairman Meow, but we call him Chairman Mao because he's a dick. And like he scratched me the other day, and that's a thing I got to take up with HR. And yeah, he speaks Cantonese. It's so weird to hear him speak a foreign language. So like fucking Chairman Mao, he's hissing and barking. Well, not barking because he's not a dog, but he's hissing orders at Frank all day, you know, data entry this, data entry that. And like, I feel bad for Frank, you know, and I want to tell Frank, dude, you're a cat and you don't need a job. That's my time. Thank you. I'm Jeremy.
That was funny, dude. I like the whole play on cats.
Yeah.
At the end with like your last line, I almost want to say instead of saying you're a cat, I don't know if it'll fuck up with your order, but like you're a general. You don't need the shit. So like I think.
Oh yeah, because he's a goddamn army general. You're a goddamn decorated army of war. No, I like that. That's fucking good.
Yeah. That was my only thing, like, because I like it. I like where you're going with it. I would just like play with like the misdirect a little bit more, but like just that was solid though.
Apply more like humanistic things, characters to him. Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
The more you're anthropomorphizing your cat, I just thought it was getting funnier and funnier because I was starting to like lose the line.
Like now, yeah, no.
Cat until you went into like the meow type of thing. So, oh fuck yeah, he's talking about cats again. But I was like so along to the story because you just had like this flow that was just going well with it. Because like
and all of that's true. Like, and now like Frank doesn't even live here. He hasn't came home for like maybe 2 weeks or so. So we don't know what happened to him. But I was thinking, because we put up a reward poster, and I was thinking that, like, you know, I was walking in the neighborhood, I seen Frank. He was just looking up at the reward poster with a disgusted look on his face because he thought we should have offered more money for him as a reward. And like, so he was like, yeah, they missed me. Oh, they missed me. Yeah, fuck that. They offered $5 as a reward. I'm not fucking. So like, come back a week later, and instead of the cat poster that was on the telephone pole was plastered with photos for this new rap album that's coming out at the end of the month by Frank the Cat. So like, apparently Frank's been working on his rap album and shit. He's had a hard life for 2 weeks on the streets.
That's funny. When you said that, I thought it'd be hilarious if Frank put out a poster with you as the owner on it.
I was just thinking the same thing. Instead of like
that's even better. That's even better.
Yeah, the cat knows exactly where he is, opposed to Shidreed's sad and lonely owner looking.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, found owner, and he'll just be watching you look at the owner, and you take it down, and as soon as you take it down, he puts another one back up.
Just have to grab a glass of water and be right back.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like that.
I don't know why when you say Chairman Meow,
he's got PTSD. So I mean, he's a war veteran. He's probably just wandering in the neighborhood somewhere.
Did you say Chairman Meow? Is that what you called him?
His name is Chairman Meow. Yeah, but he is the dick of the two. And like he does scratch and bite you and shit. Like, so Mao seems better.
Is he a Siamese?
No, he's just a dick. I don't know what kind of cat. They're both orange and white. They're both dicks. Well, Frank's cool. He lets you do whatever you want. he's stoned or something.
But when you said Chairman Meow, I just immediately pictured like a UN type situation where they're all cats, and then you had Meowsif Stalin or something like that. Cat Jong-un.
Chinese food.
I don't know.
Meowing instead of Lennon.
Yeah, unfortunately, once that happened, that's just where my brain stayed in my head, and I just had like a whole missile meeting with cats in my brain. So that's all I got.
That's good. I did that. I did it a few ways. Like, I like the reveal in the beginning because it allows people to keep up. But I've told this story where I revealed it in the end that he was a cat. I just told it like he was a person and he was dumb and like he didn't know about sex. And,
yeah,
this is way better.
And like it's because that would be a very long pause, because I've heard people that are like, yeah, it took me like a few minutes to go back in your story and put together that he was actually a cat when you were talking about that, and it made a lot of sense. But yeah, so the beginning is better.
Yeah, I've heard it the other way. I've heard you in a workshop do it the other way, but this way is much better.
Yeah.
Flows a lot better for sure. All right, any other feedback, anybody?
That was good, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Yoshi, you're up whenever you're ready.
All right. Yeah, let's try some stuff out. Folks are getting excited about their 23andMe test results, especially like white dudes who get excited that they came back 20% black. Black Twitter has been like having this debate that like you can say the N-word after 20%. Like, I don't think that's okay though. Like, you can't say the N-word after 20%. My kids are 50% black, and they can only say 50% of the N-word. So they're like, grrr! You know? Here's the thing. We have a very important election coming up, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not siding with the current administration, and I feel like we need to do something about it. So I'm asking all the black women to go grab yourself a white woman, maybe two, and do what you got to do to convince these white women to vote for the other white guy, okay? Even if you have to let them touch your hair. The kind of sacrifice that we need to make around these here parts. Here's the thing, like, I'm willing to make that sacrifice too, right? Like, you know how many white dudes would be like, dude, is your junk really that big? And I'll be like, yeah, my junk is that big. Like, it's fucking huge. It's got like modems and routers and all kinds of crazy shit. You know what I mean?
You got a Wi-Fi password?
I've got a huge jump. Like, here's the thing. I've been stuck in quarantine, so like I've just had like my kids are started this thing called virtual schooling now, and it's not the virtual reality that what was promised back, you know, in the 2000s. They were like, yeah, you're gonna have virtual reality. Bullshit. I was expecting to like enjoy flying cars, not flying bat diseases. You know what I mean? Like, call it what you want. Virtual schooling is just homeschooling with tech support. When I agreed to this virtual school, I didn't think I needed a fucking degree in computer science. I'm Yoshi the artist, not Yoshi the cable guy. I don't know shit about routers or modems. You know what I mean? The only mode I'm in is fucking pissed. And my kids are like, Dad, that's not how you say modems. Yeah, this isn't how you learn either, fucker. Here's the thing. I hate the fact that my 3G kids are complaining about 4G technology when I literally saw an ad for them, and I could get them, literally sell them off in the black market for 5Gs a piece. Like, my bachelor's degree didn't prepare me for this moment. Like, I didn't realize I could have just gotten a degree from Geek Squad just to be a fucking virtual dad and virtual fucking tech support. It's bullshit. All right. What else? I've been getting super lonely lately just from Corona. Like, it's just been hard. Like, my wife and I just finished watching our favorite show on Netflix, The Floor is Lava. And then we went outside and realized, yeah, the world is lava too. It got a 1-star review. The 1-star review came from this dude that was like, yeah, I took out 1/3 of the world's population. You guys are complaining about 900,000 people? Yeah, that review was by a dude named Spanish Flu. That's a pretty solid revision. I haven't taken it well. I haven't taken this whole Corona thing well at all. I'm an extrovert, so I've just been dying for like human contact. So what I'll do is I'll go to Chick-fil-A, get a drink, and then come back around, and then get a fry, and then come back around, and then get some chicken. Because I realized, like, for my pleasures cures like the stay. You know what I mean? Like, it just cures the stay away, but it doesn't help with my cholesterol or my diabetes. I go to Popeyes for that. You know, you guys know Popeyes? Love diabetes from Popeyes. You guys know that place? So yesterday I've been feeling like super nostalgic. And so I start dressing up like my favorite 90s band. Boy band, my favorite 90s boy band attire, and I'll go to my favorite social distancing spot, which is the cemetery down the street from my house, because it's 6 feet under and 6 feet apart from everybody. Yeah. Come to find out, they don't like it when you do a body roll on people's graves. The groundskeeper comes yelling at me from the end of the road. He was larger than life. And I swear, every little thing I do, he's yelling. And I'm like, dude, bye. It is so hard to say goodbye. I know, that was stupid, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
No,
right.
I hate you because those songs are going to be in my head. And I'm going to be
awesome.
like...
All right, let me finish it off with two things. Was that the minute light?
No, that was I just realized you've been running for over 5 minutes late.
Oh, my bad.
That was my fault. All right.
Let me do.
There was an onside kick. Do your thing.
I'll do just one last one.
Yeah, do your thing.
So my kids recently asked me why there's like cocoa butter next to my bed. And I'm not sure if you guys have had to have that serious conversation with your kids. And my kids are mixed. So I was like, all right, listen here, girl, baby. There's a time in your life where you got to realize that half of your legs are going to be ashy. And you got to sit your kids down and be like, dude, you're going to have to brush up and put some lotion. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about ash, baby. Like, let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the lotion and the rubbing that you'll need. Let's talk about ash, okay? All right, that's my time.
Bringing back all the old school jams.
There's a headliner up here, Big Kev, who does a similar Popeyes joke.
Yeah.
Except instead of diabetes, it's pussy. He's a black guy too. He's just like, love that pussy from Popeyes. He's fucking, it always murders when he does it, but
my first actual question that I have is touching a black person's hair actually a thing? Like, are people fascinated? Like, do they actually want to touch?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wiggy.
Especially white women.
really?
Oh yeah.
Do you have that issue in Atlanta? Because in Detroit, that is not a thing. Like, they know, like, it's a known thing.
You guys have trained your white people.
Yeah. It's socially distanced from the hair.
In Atlanta, it's not a thing.
And that's not even a racial thing up here. You just don't touch a woman's hair up here, like, in general, unless you know it's later on in the evening. But
yeah.
My friend Angie here, that she's another comedian. She's got a hilarious joke about a Vietnamese lady touching her hair. But good job, Yoshi. I want to get the Wi-Fi password to your junk if I'm going to be here a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 inches. Password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 inches. And then, yeah, you said the Popeyes chicken, and I was like, that gravy from Popeyes chicken is awesome. It's got like chunks of meat or some seasoning or some stuffing or some shit inside of it. It's really good. And like, I love to cover my girlfriend in Popeyes gravy. That's all.
I had a bit of a thing about the homeschooling your kids, just with tech support.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that, well, kids nowadays know way more about computers than what the teachers do. And like, really, if let's say your kid's in grade 5, what do you need as a teaching degree? All you have to do is have graduated grade 6. Because like once you're a degree, like once you're one grade higher, then you know more than the kids. But the kids know more about computers. So really, who's teaching who on that one?
Yeah.
Thanks, John, because I've been teaching grade school kids here in Vietnam English, you motherfucker. Yes, and that is true. I don't have any documentations for being a teacher.
The fact that good old George Washington teeth passes for a teacher in Vietnam says enough about
you, Daniel. That's the second time.
I also had a thought about you doing the roll at the graveyard there.
Yeah.
And the guy's trying to kick you out. And I'm thinking, well, you're about to do the worm so you can show everybody what grandpa really looks like right about now. But you decide on that one.
Yeah, I like that. My thing might shut off because my laptop is dying, even though I plugged it in. So just a heads up.
All right. Any other feedback for Yoshi, you guys?
No, I'm good. Good job.
No?
Thank you.
I had something with the tech support because I'm going through the virtual learning right now too, and I fucking forgot to write it down, so I apologize. The virtual learning thing's it's a disaster.
Oh my God, it's so terrible.
Someone said the other day, and this kind of made me feel sad for the kids, was like, no more snow days, because now they can do that fucking Zoom meeting or whatever, and like, What the fuck? Like, that totally takes away being a child and having, like, living in Michigan, getting fucking 1.5 2 foot of snow in the evening, and then you don't go to school the next day. At least that's whenever I was a kid.
With the virtual learning, there's got to be something like somehow you got detention. Like they were in class.
Yeah, because now you got to take care of your kid.
Like you're talking during class and you wouldn't shut up, so now you got to go to the principal office and have a meeting.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
that needs some work, but that's a decent premise.
Or even just the simple idea that, like, you are now stuck in the room that they're doing their learning and just making sure that they're not acting up with the microphone on mute. So it's like you're in detention and you have to watch these fucking kids do their class so that they're not fucking up for their class in the real class.
Or you caught your kid beaten off during the Zoom class and you had to get him to stop without alerting the rest of the students. Shit. I need to keep. Sorry, you can't use any of these. No, I'm just
It's like Daniel knows how to go from like getting booked to like never being called back again.
Yeah. Like I want to put on a great first show, but once I feel comfortable, here comes the awful.
Here comes everything. Childhood traumas unloaded.
I do. So I clean up all these jokes for the most part. I for the most part, like, I'm a clean comic.
Oh, I'm the exact opposite.
And I just mostly, I only curse like if I'm like around like adults or like in club setting, just because I think cursing like helps sell it a little bit more. But for the most part, all these are meant to be.
It's not needed though.
Yeah.
I've had to turn down so many clean shows lately because I'm just like, I'm not and like the state of like the rooms you can do right now around me, it's like I can't even prep for a clean show that well right now. It's just it's pretty hostile out there. And I'm trying to bring back old school comics. Like my favorite comic era is like late 90s to like the mid 2000s New York comics were fucking just murderers, and they were all just filth. There was like a wave of filth, and I loved all of them. Like Patrice, Burt, Norton, fucking Attell, all those guys. The old Comedy Cellar group.
But I think like there was some video I was watching where it said the guy said you should learn how to write clean, and you should write clean because you can always make things dirty, but you can't always make things clean. And also like you can take something that's dirty, and if you have like, I mean, it may take a little while, it may take a workshop or something, you know, talking it out with somebody, but you can take that idea that is dirty and you can say it in a clean way that would totally even fuck them other people's minds, you know, because they know what you're talking about, but you're not saying it. So
right, but
you're making them paint this picture of sex and shit like that, but you're not saying anything about sex.
There's definitely ways to do that, but there's also like the perspective, like I can't remember who the heck Rogan had on his podcast. There was another comic that I read. It might even have been Bill Burr was on there, but no, they were talking about like how if you don't want to be a clean comic, like the I don't want to say stereotype, but the cliche that says you have to learn how to write clean if you want to work more. Like those two guys said, like if you don't want to be a clean comic, don't just. Because it can hurt your writing the other direction if you're trying to clean everything up. So I mean, everything's subjective to the comic obviously, but that's kind of like where my train of thought is with that, at least at the moment.
Yeah, I just like doing clean because I live in the suburbs and I want to do shows in the suburbs.
No, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, there's definitely a ton more options if you can run clean, but that's definitely 100% true.
I mean, but honestly, you know, what's funny is like.
Oh, all right. His laptop died. All right, John, you're up.
Alrighty. I guess I'm happy I'm actually doing comedy with clothes on right now. Because during the summertime, because of all the bars being closed and all the social distancing, there's a nude beach over in Vancouver called Wreck Beach. And we wound up doing like a bunch of shows down there. So here you are doing comedy completely naked. We had a few comics that were on the show. We had a great headliners. They asked me not to go long, and you know, wasn't going to be an issue on that one. Because you know, small penis, big vocabulary. I've got a cornucopia conversation. I can be a myriad of mirth. So I decided to just stay there and just tell them a few short stories, see how it all went. But this, I don't know how 2020 is affecting everybody else, but I'm under the firm belief that 2020 has been behaving a lot like the reservoir tip of a dollar store condom. Like, so far, 2020 has been like, you remember The Princess Bride, and there was that torture device that sucked years off your life in the pit of despair? Like, that is 2020. Like, if 2020 were to have a safe word, it would be yes, 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 more. But like in Canada up here, like things, they start getting really crazy immediately. Like the government immediately shut down the churches as a way to help stop the spread of the virus. And I thought that would be a great way to also help cut the transmission of COVID-19 as well. I personally like that joke because I was raised in a non-religious household by a single mom in the 70s, because the last thing we needed was another absentee father. I here think that maybe, just maybe, we could have let COVID just run its course. Because you got to hear me out on this. I did the research. 75% of everybody affected is over the age of 65. Only 5% of the people affected are under the age of 45. Now, I don't mean to sound like a cruel bastard, but I'm a 48-year-old renter. You're just hoping for a buyer's market sometime. Like, can you imagine being able to park downtown again? That would be incredible. Like real estate would be open. Like it's really sad that Grandma couldn't be here for her 96th Christmas, but holy shit, look at the view from that. Like I've got friends up here that have actually stopped doing cocaine with rolled bills, you know, for health reasons. I always try to be the good friend though, because like I'll do the first bump, you know, just to make sure it's all good. But like I'm actually in my 40s now, so when it comes to drugs, I can't take them like I used to. Like I used to take drugs like a champ. Like you go off and you're partying in your 20s and life is like the Fast and the Furious. I'm in my 40s now. It's more like the Wizard of Oz. Because sure, like drinking is going to give you the lion's courage. The drugs, they kind of give you the scarecrow's brain. But like ultimately by the end of the night, what you're really wanting to do is like get some goth chick wet, let it, maybe a monkey fly. Meanwhile, here you are walking around with the knees like the Tin Man, and ultimately by the end of the night, you realize there's no place like home, and you're alone by your dog. Yeah. Drugs used to be awesome. I can honestly say that I can almost afford the coke habit that I don't have. Yeah, I'll say that. But I was actually married and divorced twice before the age of 30. Because, you know, I make really good decisions. I also earned 2 degrees before the age of 30. But I studied psychology and sociology because I come from a well-established family, and I thought somebody ought to put an end to all that prosperity. But being married, the first time I was married, like I was 19 and she was 18. Like we were young and in love, and she was pregnant. And the second one, have any of you guys ever sobered up after a year to discover you married an escort that you used to party with? Oh yeah, just me. I guess I've got a different way. The first one taught me that you cannot not unsleep with her best friend though, like no matter how hard you try. The second one, you can't unsleep with half of our hometown. So, yeah, true story on that one. I was a responsible dad though, because I've got a son with my first wife. And like I was totally responsible. It was a short marriage, but I had him every other weekend. I had him every holiday. I paid every cent of my child support. I even helped pay for his college. I was a responsible dad. And with my second wife, I've got 2 abortions and a vasectomy under my belt. So nobody can ever call me the deadbeat dad. I always take care of my kids.
Good guy, good man.
Yeah, I can also tell you that being married that young and with such interesting women, it taught me at a really young age, I've never been into period sex. Like, just the thought of it makes me shudder. Because, you know, period sex. I suck at accents, and those costumes, I can't afford them. They are bloody expensive. And I think that's the flashing of the light.
Yeah. All right. Anybody got some feedback for him?
Your period sex joke is very, very funny. I would try to find a way to either do like an accent and or like go into the role of not necessarily you having sex, but say something like tis the day for a spanking or some crazy
Tis
bullshit
thy
like
clitoris that I'd be searching for.
Tis the day to grow your bloomers and let me protrude onto your flower. And
yeah. Say something
back
in
your
the
labia.
Do the whole act out like you would see like in Shakespeare, like he's holding the skull. He's like, oh, you know, like he's do it all dramatic and shit on the stage.
Yeah, like it's funny. It's funny, but it'd be funnier to see it done because it'll hit the punchline even harder.
Act out a Shakespearean love
Yeah,
making.
or something.
But you know, write your own like
Yeah.
verse, but you know, make the
Yeah.
verse all like apply to what you're talking about, but make it like in 1400s English.
Right.
"'Tis
Is thou is
thou."
ready to receive thy penis into the vagina?
Yeah.
Something stupid.
Yeah. It can be
Into the
silly. Like
bustle.
this is
Yeah.
like you can be super silly with this. It can be anything. Like you can go into like a song lyric. It doesn't matter. As long as it's in like that old English timey voice, it doesn't matter. Like but it sells the joke more because
And you
I've heard it
don't even
and then
have to
I
do it
got
good.
it.
A good eating ass
Yeah.
joke in there with an accent would be funny.
Oh my god, yeah. That's a good
Like-
callback.
Is thou is rectum ready to be devoured by thee? Like, I don't know.
Okay, eating ass is for closers.
Eating ass is great when you're on whiskey.
No, I was going down on my girlfriend and she asked me that. She said, "Hey, eat my ass." And like I would have did it before she asked me, but when she asked me, it just no, I'm not doing that. Sorry.
Yeah, what kind of girl is this?
You
that
asked
wants
for it.
to?
You asked for it, girl. You dirty. Like I'm not gonna do that now that you like. I would have did
Animal.
it on accident, you know. But you asked for it. Ew. It's gross.
The like I heard you tell it the last time we were in a workshop together. The letting the COVID run its course part, which I really like that whole premise. But you need to be a little bit more I don't want to say realistic, but relatable in the examples you're giving, like stuff old people would do that we'd want to do. Like old people don't go downtown, so like stuff like that. And then so
But they may
But the-
own property downtown.
yeah, and the real estate part's hilarious. Like yeah, that part's fucking great. Like I just want to be in a buyer's market, so we should just let COVID run rampant. That has so many legs. Like I'd really focus on expanding that joke because it's a really good premise.
And you
Yeah,
could say,
that's
yeah. So we're standing in this apartment looking out this beautiful window in my new place, thanks to our great aunt Mildred, who's not really part of the family, but she died, and we moved into
Yeah.
her place.
Thanks, COVID. Be like a PSA. Or you could turn it into like you're creating a pro-COVID group, like a pro-COVID-19 group because you want the old people to die. Like you're tired of their politics and you want their houses. Like, I don't
That's funny because you could just make it a real estate group.
Yeah.
Like just make it like a
You've devoured too much of our Social Security. We need to get rid of you so that we have some whenever we die.
Yeah, instead of Century 21, it's like COVID 2020 or something like that, real estate. Or I don't know.
I think there's actually something about Century 21 which could be turned into actually part of the joke because
Our realtors are infectious. You know,
That's funny.
yeah, it's got a lot of
Somebody's getting COVID and someone's getting a new home. It's a win-win for everybody.
right.
No, like so if you get your grandma sick, then just think you are the one who induces the sickness to her. That means you're going to get some of, if not all of the will, and then fuck all of the other kids in the family, and then somebody gets a new house.
Yeah.
So you sell grandma's house. You get her sick, and then you sell grandma's house and don't tell anybody in the family because it's on lockdown and nobody's gonna know.
Instead of smallpox blankets, you just you send her Febreze air purifiers full of COVID.
cough in the box before you give it to her. Sorry,
yeah. Check out this new Glade plugin. It's from China. All right. Anybody have any other feedback?
No, that's funny.
It's flavored bat. Good job, John.
Good job.
Good stuff,
What the
dude.
fuck is that?
All right, put everything. One second here. I'm just trying to find I flipped my journal over to take notes. No, I totally lost where I was at with my shit.
Yeah, he does this every time. He says that he lost his jokes and he's not going to be funny, and then he's fucking hilarious.
I have no idea what you're talking about. With a race to freedom. Nope, I can't do that joke after this week. All right. Okay, I have an idea for a skit. It's called Race to Freedom, and it's where we take modern racists and we release them in New Orleans, and they have to do the same path a slave used to have to make it to the north. But they could get help and go on the Underground Railroad if they learn about Black culture on the way there. So let's just say they have to stop and they read like a podium, and it's like Back to the Future was actually extremely racially undertones all throughout that movie, and the guy's like, oh my gosh, they are. And then all of a sudden, like, he gets a Tubman token and can advance forward a few spaces. And then right when he's on the border of Tennessee and Ohio, he just smells like an apple pie. And it's like, oh man, that smells good. And instead of crossing into Ohio, he goes to get some of the apple pie. And that's when like the 4 black dudes on horses catch him and drag him back to New Orleans. And then it just cuts out to like a game show room. And they're just like, oh damn, Yoshi's like, fuck that. And then and they're just like, take his toe and send him home. Thanks for I was like, I thought you were just like, fuck this motherfucker.
I was like, I'm good on the Tubman tokens.
I'm all on Tubman tokens. But yeah, then all of a sudden when he gets caught and sent back, like all of a sudden the host comes out like, oh, almost got away there. All right, take his toe and send him home. Try better luck next time on Race to Freedom. So that's one thing I had an idea for.
Yeah.
And you go over well.
And you should call it 12 years of privilege.
12 years of privilege, yes.
Sorry, we got to wait till the end.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've never told that joke on stage. I'm so scared of that joke. With blackface in the bedroom. Is it still like morally wrong if to do blackface if it's just in the privacy of my bedroom? I'm just curious because like I used to be very sexually diverse before I married a white woman, and I kind of miss the variety. And she's a trooper too. Like she did it for me, and she could sell it good. We tried doing it the other way around though, and let's just say I don't quite have the raw materials to commit to the role. I tried using a strap-on, but I felt like I was doing all the work and it was getting all the credit. It's kind of like I was fucking her with my boss. I didn't like that. All right, got through that one. Let's see. I don't know why Bilal always says I do all my racial shit when I'm on here. But oh, hey, there's my page. So Ray Lewis is my favorite football player of all time, arguably, and he's probably the best middle linebacker of all time. And I'm just glad that man, though, he had the NFL to get all of his pent up like rage and frustrations and just have like a healthy avenue to like get all that out of him. You know, I feel like if there wasn't the NFL, Ray Lewis would have become like a serial rapist that stalked the World's Strongest Man competition. Like he's not raping these guys for sexual pleasure, but just he'd be sport raping them at this. Like, it's just like, hey, how much of that fucking guy just squat? They're like 2,000 pounds, and Ray'd start doing his little fucking pregame dance, and he's like, I'm gonna get that motherfucker later. And then by like the third year, everybody would kind of catch on. So instead of a trophy, they would just get a metal chastity belt and be sent into a tent to fight Ray. And like what you would win there is just the ability to walk the next day. All right. That one needs work. I think fat girls with double chins get a bad rap. I do. I like, especially if they're good at giving head, because essentially every time they do a downstroke, it would just tickle your balls a little bit. Beards are kind of fucked up too, because I feel like with the mass obesity there is in this country, there should be a law that says we have to shave our beards every 2 months, because I grew a beard out for 2 years and then shaved my face completely and did not realize how much of a fat fuck I turned into until I had nothing hiding it. My wife said if I didn't grow it back, she would leave me. If that means anything to what I'm hiding underneath this. Like, I make fun of people with big jowls, but once I shaved the beard, I had big jowls. There's no joke there. It was actually sad. I wonder if there's cleft chin porn. Like, there's pretty much people that'll fuck anything and people that'll jerk off to it. But I wonder if there's porn out there where there's just guys like lubing up and just fucking cleft chins. Is a COVID mask technically like a thong for a cleft chin? That's a question I need answers to. Let's see. What else can we do? Do you think unplanned pregnancy would have a serious decline if you had to give birth to humans like plants reproduced? Like, so she would just have to go to a field and some guy in overalls would come out and there'd just be like a field full of women and he would just walk out and just like with a bucket and just scoop semen onto all the women, and then they just have to stay in the sun and be fed for the next 9 months, and then a baby would just grow out of the side of them and walk away. They could have festivals called like the breeding festival, where like all these farmers would talk about all the cross like semen they've been making. Like, oh, this is like an NFL rusher mixed with a astronaut, and I'm going to put it into a lawyer next season, and I think that's going to be a good crop. All right, last one. I think colleges, like with the COVID and them not being able to run full campuses, they're really excited because this will be the first time in years that college rapes actually went down. All right, that's my time. I'm now.
College rape joke was solid.
Oh, thanks, man.
Good closer.
How often have you ever heard that sentence?
Any feedback?
I happen to really like the fact that you're talking about doing your wife with the strap on.
Mm-hmm.
It made you feel a lot like how you work with your boss, taking all it's getting all the credit. It's kind of like how you work with your boss. I'm not sure what the exact wording of that was, but that really stood out.
I felt I didn't like it because I felt like I was fucking her with my boss.
Yeah, he's all like looking over your shoulder, like giving you support, but he's not actually doing anything.
Yeah,
he's like,
like,
oh, Daniel's doing a good job.
Yeah, fuck that guy. That joke almost never lands though. Like, I always like have to follow up, like, oh, apparently no jobs in the audience, and then it gets a laugh. But like the last part almost never gets a laugh there for some reason. I think it's because it's so like socially and racially charged for that joke, and then I end it with something that has nothing to do with either of those things. I don't know.
I also wrote down you're talking about like the cleft chin porn.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking possibly tooth gap porn.
Mm.
And the colostomy bag porn. So you have like that side hole.
Fucking hell.
Like what's the trach tube?
Tracheotomy porn. Girls with a lisp with a tracheotomy. Yeah. Then I also wrote down a farmer spreading his seed in some sort of. There's got to be some sort of graphing joke there as well. But graphing the gapping.
I don't know what graphing is. I'm not going to lie to you right now. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know what graphing is either. What's graphing?
Oh, thank God.
It's when you take one plant, like let's say you're doing an apple tree and you're trying to make another apple tree. You take a piece from one apple tree, which is completely different species, put it into the other to create something new. Kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
Two different, completely
I
different human beings.
watched.
They produce a new.
The
I
fact that you
watched
had to
a
explain
video-
that to 3 awful comics, I don't think that's going to work on
No.
stage.
I watched a video. I watched a video about that where they took a tree and then over time they induced nuts and different seeds into the tree in different branches. So like the tree was able to produce like 5 or 6 different nuts and 5 or 6 different fruits, all from the same tree because they had spliced branches into it. I don't know if it really worked. It was a video on YouTube, guys. So like, don't
It
listen
works.
to anything I say. I'm sorry.
My grandparents farmed.
But there was like a special set of clippers that they were selling that, you know, like would cut the branch in a certain shape and then you can put them together, wrap it with plastic and they would grow together.
Yeah.
So I know what the hell he's talking about. I'm smarter than you, Daniel.
Fair enough. Such a high bar.
High bar.
Any other feedback?
No, I liked it, dude.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Whenever
Jim,
they're
talk
on,
some shit.
whenever you were in the Amazing Race, I was thinking like the further north they would get, like the more woke that they would become, and hopefully they wouldn't stray the path, you know, because they see the potential of understanding what's going on, rather than there's some apple pie.
Yeah, a lot of my
That's how
buddies
you
are
lead.
like that would be a good skit, but it's gonna be really hard to do that one like as a joke. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's fun. Did you say the Amazing Race? Because I like the thought of that being like.
I called it the race to freedom. I didn't say Amazing Race, but I did say the race to freedom.
Yeah, I think there's another reference to the race, to the Amazing Race. Almost like, trying to think like the I don't know, because white people are the only ones who are obsessed with the Amazing Race.
Yeah.
You were talking about the TV
I
show,
hate
right?
those white people, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to distance myself from them as much as possible.
Is that why you moved to Detroit?
I live just north of Detroit, actually. I just usually say Detroit because you're like, Port Huron, where is that? And it's like, well, it's a little north of Detroit. It's just easier.
Yeah,
to say.
yeah.
Oh, that's where my dad puts in his boat when we go to like the Jobby Nooner. Have you ever been to that shit?
You put your boat in Port Huron for Jobby
Yeah.
Nooner?
Yeah.
There's like 9,000 better. All right, we're gonna get off topic there. It's a local thing nobody would know about. All right. So, anything else, Jeremy?
No. Good
Alrighty.
job.
Well, this has been the Workshop 119. If you guys have any social media or anything like that you want to get out there, now's the time to do it. Start with Jeremy and work our way around.
Jeremy Wagner, comedian on Facebook. That's it.
Alrighty. Yoshi?
DJ Yoshi on everything. And then Yoshi on Twitter, just YOSHEE. And then I've got a podcast with my wife that I actually think is pretty cool called the FTJ Podcast. It's Fuck the Joneses Podcast. And it's myself, and she's an amazing woman, and we help people get their shit together.
Nice. I like it. All right. How about you, John?
John Tate Comedy on Facebook. That's where I produce shows and things along that line. John Tate, my usual profile, and at Comedy Tate on Twitter.
Alrighty. All right, this has been another episode of the workshop. See you guys tomorrow.